What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga career mode. This is episode number 78, and today we are returning with the season finale as we face Arsenal in our first ever Champions League final, coming on the back of our victory over RB Leipzig in the DFB Pokal final for our first ever German Cup of the Save. Less said about what happened in the episode prior to that one, the better. We definitely redeemed ourselves in the cup final though, after bottling the points record spectacularly on the final day. But for the Champions League final, the first time we've been here, we're taking on Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, who knocked out Atletico in their semi-final tie. We of course avenged our demons of last season and got our revenge on Pep Guardiola's Manchester City and then some after they humbled us last season in the last 16. So Arsenal in the final. Real briefly, just want to show you their team before we head into the game and how it's going. In fact, I'll show you the league table first in the Premier League. Obviously, as I always say, take the league tables with a pinch of salt because they change all the time. You can never really predict them. As you can see, Arsenal this season finished in 8th place, so missed out on European football altogether. They need to win this in order to have European football at the Emirates next year. But as we know, basically every time you advance a couple of days in the calendar, the other leagues change, the tables change significantly. It breaks the immersion up, I don't really know why it's like that as well, why it's so random in FIFA career mode and why EA can't track it consistently and just have it, realistic, if you will. Anyway, heading into the game, you'll see Arsenal's team here. Diogo Costa and Aaron Ramsdale would be their starting goalkeepers, both 84 overall. Not sure who they'll go with today. This is their defense. Issa Diop has moved on from West Ham. Goncalo Inacio, who I've used before, is really good. Oh, Mazraoui is there at fullback, one of the best young right backs you can get in this year's FIFA. John Stones, now at 32, is commanding Arsenal's back line, and Nicholas Saul is alongside him. Tommy Yasu is now there at 85 overall. Should I say still there at 85 overall. As their midfield, Ricky has moved on from Barcelona, so Maximin has come in from Newcastle United. Sambi Lokonga, their young Belgian talent's grown very nicely. Oh, I tell you what, I love those stats there. Those technicals are brilliant, aren't they? Yuri Tielemans is now at the Gunners as well. What the Arsenal fans would do to have him there in real life. Granted, Xhaka the vet is still there, but at 78 overall, doubt he'll play. Edison Alvarez is there, and Odegaard is still there as well at 88 overall. Tell you what, for signings Arsenal made in recent years, Martin Odegaard has been brilliant. Just a perfect player they needed. Their offensive pieces, though, not too many of them. Reece Nelson is still there. Hasn't developed too well in this game, though. Skamaka will lead their line at 86 overall, and Chiesa is, of course, going to be their star player here at 90 overall at 28 years old in the prime of his career. Not too many offensive pieces. So Chiesa and Skamaka, the Italians, will start, but who else is going to be up top for Arsenal, I wonder? Very interesting indeed, and of course they would be considered a 5-star team as well, I'm sure, with a few of those star players there, such as Chiesa. They should be considered a 5-star team, are they? No, that's Championship, mate. Arsenal? Yep, indeed, 5-star team. So let's head into the game. I've got a decision to make pre-game though, and that is who starts up top, because after his brace in the DFB Pokal final to win us the trophy, alongside Robin Hack's third goal as well, do I start Kareem or do I start Jamie Llewellyn up top? They've both scored 6 goals in the Champions League, but Llewellyn's done it in 5 fewer games. So Llewellyn's goal-to-game ratio in Europe is far superior to Adeyemi's, who's played almost every single game in our Champions League campaign this year. Ooh. Do you know what? I think I am going to go with Jamie. I mean, Adeyemi has been an amazing signing from Roma, but Llewellyn's been my guy since season 2. He's got a better goal-to-game ratio in Europe as well, despite the fact they both have the same amount of goals. I'm going to go with Jamie. But I'm going to make one change to my lineup, though. Obviously, as we know, Dardai is done for this season. That is so annoying. Highest-rated player, now down to 88 overall. He would, of course, play no part for the rest of the season, including in this final here. But the big change I'm going to make, Suat Serdar starting ahead of Florian Neuhaus. Why? Because he's been absolutely brilliant this year in the Champions League. One of the most underrated players we've had this season, and one of the unlikely heroes of the campaign. So he will start. Mukiele will indeed retain his place in the back four, and I'm okay with that lineup. But I do want to change our kits to blue. We don't need to play in black for this. We can play in our home kits of Arsenal. That's not going to clash whatsoever. Where are we playing though? Where are we playing? Champions League final. Where is it today? It is... Oh, Metropolitano! Interesting. Atletico Madrid's ground. Of course, Arsenal knocked out Atletico in their semi-final tie. So, obviously, desperate to win our first ever Champions League at the save. Desperate to win the treble in my most dominant season ever. However, I won't be too disappointed if we do miss out. My main objective this season was just winning multiple honours. We've already done that with a domestic double, but a treble would ease the pain of bottling the points record and be a superb finale to this season. Champions League final, Arsenal Metropolitano. Come on, Armenia, Bielefeld. I was considering sliding Mukiele back to right back, dropping Agu to the bench and having Kera fill in alongside Amos Piper, but in the end I'm going to go with Nordi. It's just like position changes. I often find like when I first do it, takes me a while to get used to them in a new position. And well, this is not the start I wanted. 4 minutes in and we fall behind. Came out with a goo, lost my man, quick little ball roll, Ricky with a finish. Stepping inside from the sides of the area. I just can't defend it. In all of these months playing this game, I've not found a way to combat it. Right, what did I say pre-game? Won't be too disappointed if we lose this one? Well, Arsenal have turned up. We've not got off the team bus yet. 7 minutes in, we trail by a goal. We got a star-studded offense. I'm confident we'll get back on level terms not before long. Yes! Because this is FIFA 22. Goal, 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 and oh yeah, some more goals. Jamie Llewellyn justifying the start, 7th of the competition, and our leveller right from kickoff. As it's 1-1 in Madrid. Robin rolls it across. I gotta be honest, man, like, this has been a fantastic FIFA for me to play because the challenge has been far greater than previous games, and that's the reason why I've really enjoyed this game this year. But I've gotta say to EA, a few years ago, they made it, you know, like, so the games were consistently finishing like 1-0, and it was a duller game to play, and no one's gonna deny that. But I've said this about EA many times before. Their way of fixing things always just seems to go the polar opposite. Like, if something's OP, they'll nerf it so it never works again. If something doesn't work at all, they'll fix it, or their fix, I should say. It's so it just happens all the time and too frequently. And it's the same with this. Like, they've gone from games that are just so dull and tedious to games where defending just doesn't exist. It's 1-1, 15 minutes in, and you can bet your life there's more goals, probably in the first half of this game, let alone for the rest of it. This is being played at 100 miles an hour. That's yours, Felix, that's yours. Don't let him go. 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 That's fine, I'm okay with that. I don't mind crosses. I don't mind crossing into the area at all, but oh, not when I do stuff like that. Zach, thank you for bailing me out. I don't know what's happened recently. I wouldn't say it's a patch thing, but recently, passing out from the back, I've made a lot more mistakes than I ordinarily would, and gifted the AI chances that way. But the good thing about conceding corners... Come on, Robin. Schaefer, dummy run, please. Oh, that is such a tame effort. That is so tame. I was going to say, the good thing about conceding corners is that you can score from as many as you concede. But that is such a tame effort from Vlasic, that. I don't know whether I just didn't put enough power on that, but he barely made connection. 7 minutes to go before the break. The game started off at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's died down a bit since then, thank goodness. But even so, still 1-1. Game very much in the balance here. No team's been better than the other. This is extremely even, as I was expecting. Here come the Gunners, Chiesa down the right-hand side there. Star, their talisman. Gets round Piper, I can't stand. this. Oh, Wagnerman, huge block. I just can't defend when I step in from the flanks, man. It's almost impossible. I tell you what, this is tense. This is really tense. Game started off at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Since then, though, it's been so cagey. I think both teams realised after like 15 minutes, we keep this up, we'll be gassed after 40 minutes. 1-1 at the break, could go either way. This is nervy as hell. Heading into the game, I'd say we were slight favourites for it. Arsenal got a fantastic side, of course, but I'd say we're slightly better, and of course, due to our domestic dominance this year, you'd say we're probably the slightly better team and slightly favourites for this, but not by much. This has been exactly what I was expecting. Very close, very tight, both teams getting goals, and 48 minutes in, we're still tied at 1-1. I do think, though, this game will be settled in normal time. I think someone else is going to get a goal in the second half, and the next goal will be crucial. Constantine. I tell you what, he's not a goal scorer, but that was close. Goodness. If Schaefer would have just banged one out from 20 yards, top pins, I don't know what I would have done. Still, 1-1. I think we've been a slightly better team in this game, but again, it's incredibly even. This could go either way. That's yours, Zach. I think whoever gets the next goal is going to go on to win this game. 47 minutes to find out who it's going to be. Whatever happened to golden goal? There's a trivia question for anyone. Like, does anyone know if a professional football competition still uses that? Because I can't think of one. If anyone knows, that's a really good question. I'd love to know the answer to. Does any professional football competition still use golden goal as a means to deciding a game? Golden goal was class, so dramatic. Silver goal, not so much, but oh, great ball. Oh, Costa with the save, and the parry is enough as the Gunners will clear. Second half belonged to Bielefeld. We've been the far better team. I can't believe after that crazy start there's been no more goals. I think we've been better than Arsenal over the balance of play in this game, especially in the second, and I do believe just one goal is going to win it. But despite us being a better team, I can still see Arsenal nicking it. 14 minutes. I haven't made a sub yet. If the Gunners nick this, I'll be fuming. I've shut them down in this second half. And again, Felix with a tackle. I tell you what, defensively in this second half, I've been brilliant. He's on, he's on, he's on. Yes! Decision justified. Get in! Finally! If at first you don't succeed, try again. Chance after chance in the second, and this time we get it right. Lockdown defence in this second half. And Jamie Llewellyn, given nod ahead of Adeyemi, bags a brace and potentially the game winner. Man, this has been so tense. But that might do it. 8 minutes separate us from our first ever Champions League, and Llewellyn might well be the hero. Just made 2 subs. We've taken off Vlasic for Brekalo, and I've also brought on Ludwig for Hubner down the right hand side for a bit more pace and fresh legs to attack those tired Arsenal legs. Have they got anything left in a second half where I've just shut them down completely? Can they get a late chance to level it? Mukiele has been solid in this second half, man. You wouldn't have seen it, but he's been brilliant. 2 minutes to go. And we're almost there. Wagnerman down left. Run, Robin, run, mate. Be the dummy, be the dummy. Oh, Wagnerman, poor pass. Hits that right. Llewellyn's through for potentially the hat-trick. It's okay, though. We're into the final seconds of normal time. There's 2 minutes of added time. Just got to defend this attack. No. No. Right, here's what I'm going to... Oh. It's March, and I don't know how you defend when the AI step into your area from the flank. Oh. Thank you, woodwork. Bielefeld, hold on. What a tense finale. Llewellyn's brace wins it. Bielefeld Champions League winners. The treble in the cabinet, but what a final! Well, after the frenetic start to this game, 2 goals in the opening 8 minutes, I don't think anyone would have expected the game to end up like this. In the end, it was not goal, 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 goal. It was who had more composure and who held their nerve in the second half. In the end, that was just about us. Jamie scoring that late winner. Arsenal hitting the woodwork with the final shot of the game. Such a balanced game, man. It could have gone either way. This was such a tense final. One of the tense finals I've played in recent years. But we just about came through to pick up our first ever Champions League. And no doubt about the final. I thought Mukiele in the second half was great, by the way. You wouldn't have seen it much, but he didn't put a foot wrong all game long. He was absolutely solid, absolutely brilliant. Now, like I said, when I changed him from right back to centre back, he grew a rating. That is his best position based on stats alone, but he's not going to get man of the match. It's the guy at the other end that bagged our brace and bagged the game winner right towards the end of the game. Jamie Llewellyn justifying the start ahead of Karim Adeyemi. His brace ensures we are Champions League winners for the first time ever. But that was as tense as it gets, man. That was so nervy. It's so funny because when we scored that leveller through Llewellyn in minute, was it 7? I think it was 7. I was like, oh, here we go again. Another game of FIFA where, you know, it's just like 4-3, which I know it sounds weird that I'll be complaining about that, but it's just because it happens too frequently. You know, games like that are supposed to be a rarity. It's not quite as amazing when it happens quite often. You know that old saying, too much of a good thing is a bad thing, if you know what I mean? That's kind of how I see this. It's great that the games have got more action now. It's great that the games are more fun to play, but they shouldn't be just goal gluts, like, you know, game after game after game, as they so often are in this year's FIFA. And again, that to me has been EA's problem for years and years and years. When they identified it's a problem with the game because of the community backlash, for example, a few years ago, so many games just finished 1-0 or 1-1 or 0-0. Their fix is to go the other way around. Like when crosses were so OP, they were, you know, you'd score with like 50% of them. Their fix, if you will, was to stop them working. That's not how you fix something, EA. But even so, there it is. Bielefeld Champions League winners to get the job done without Dada is really pleasing as well, because that was a huge concern heading into the game, especially when we fell behind so early. But we are Champions League winners, we are Bundesliga winners back-to-back, and we are DFB Pokal winners to treble in the cabinet. And I have to say now, what more is there left to do? Set the points record. That would have been the magical ending to my most dominant season ever, but it still was one of my most dominant seasons in FIFA career mode history, and capped off with a treble. So to me, I don't think I can do better than this. I don't think I'll be able to replicate this sort of season again. Possibly, but I'm doubtful. So I think we're going to end not just the season, but the series there. We built an incredible Arminia Bielefeld team. It's got some great young talent. The core has grown so well. We're stars. We're now the best team in the world. And I'm more than happy ending the series on that high of the Champions League, the DFB Pokal, the Bundesliga, and of course the treble. And let's be honest, being 1 point away from equaling the points record is gutting as it was. It's a pretty decent season, isn't it? But that will end today's episode of the Bundesliga career, guys. Big thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the season finale. If you have, then please do drop a like. What I'm going to do is come back with a special in-depth look at the save, one last look at the save, where we'll go through things in more detail as we end the series officially with Arminia Bielefeld. Thanks for watching the season finale, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the final episode of the series finale. One last look at the save with our treble-winning Arminia Bielefeld team very soon.